Alright, so saw the most recent episode of House of the Dragon, and goodness gracious, can we just go from bad to worse? So, where it's a time jump of 10 years, probably most definitely the biggest time jump of this show so far. And everybody's a lot older. They've gotten new actors. The King Viserys looks like he's pretty much at death's door. But right now, looks like everybody that was kind of making nice is no longer making nice. They're just kind of just there. But Princess Rhaenyra, the first scene we see is we see her giving birth to a baby. And it's quite obvious that one, it's not her first child, and two, that none of the children look anything like a mix between mom and dad. And I will say from my own personal experience, not to me directly, but just from my personal experience dealing with some people I know what that's like to see the results plainly in front of you and just kind of go, yeah, that's not how genetics work. So the queen, sees this, and she doesn't like it, obviously, and the king is like, whatever, just let them do their thing. Don't bring scandal, to the kingdom. And the queen's like, well, the scandal's already here. Everybody's just not saying anything. So it's it's one of those things where everybody knows already. It's just nobody wants to be killed over it. And so we deal with some ramifications from that. Sir Criston decides to provoke the actual donor, if you will, and that was an interesting scene. I think I don't know. I think that scene played out exceptionally well, especially when now that it's out in the open and out in public, a lot of the other hands have to take action, especially the Hand of the King. We find out the person is the actual son of the Hand of the King, and like I said, it's one of those things that everybody knows, but nobody really brings up. And now it's coming to light, and more people are talking about it. And if you hear squeaking, that's my chair. It's a couple of years old. I think I need to get a new one because it makes a very interesting noise. Anyway, so yeah, things are just not where it should be. Now, another interesting thing that I didn't realize what's going on or why, but it seems Daemon Targaryen and his new wife, well, not new because they've been around for 10 years, but I guess they're over in Pentos, or I think it's Pentos or Dorne, and they're just chilling, hanging out, and he's just chilling, just not wanting to do anything, and the wife wants to go back. But is it self-exile? I didn't get it. Was it self-exile, or was it something along the lines of I mean, he's already been exiled multiple times, so I didn't know if he was just going back in exile, or he just didn't want to deal with inner politics or what have you. Or, was he disgusted from the brutal death of Joffrey from the previous episode? Joffreys don't last long on the show anyway. But anyway, his wife is pregnant, and her pregnancy doesn't go well. And how that ended was very interesting, because I was trying to figure out. I think they could have let that moment maybe explain itself a little bit more. Obviously, she didn't want to go out she didn't want to go out at the hands of the Maester. She wanted to go out on her own terms. But from one moment she was there, and the next minute she was walking away. It's like, okay, what the heck happened? And so when the event that happened to her did happen, I was like, well, why is this happening? So maybe they'll explain that in future episodes, what have you. But it didn't come across as clear as I would like to. So, anyway, but lastly, we going back to Princess Rhaenyra. She decides, you know what, this has gone on far enough. So she decides to go back to Dragonstone, and the queen, she's got some. Her kids are weird. She's got one I think is kind of sickly, and the other one he's got some issues. You know, he wants to be out in the open, sharing himself with the world, I guess. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But apparently, at the end, we have the Hand of the King, his son, and apparently this other guy. I guess his name is Larys. They're all. He had two sons, and Larys decides to take action upon himself to help out the queen. And I thought that was interesting, and I wasn't 100% sure who all met their demise from his actions. I didn't know if it was one person or multiple. I'm under the perception multiple, but since we only saw one, I'm under that guy's. Well, if we didn't see it, then maybe the other didn't really die. So I thought that was incredibly interesting, and I thought the way it was revealed to the queen could have been done executed a little bit better. I was hoping, maybe she would have found out, when official news was given to the king that his hand had passed, and then she kind of figures out why. But apparently, the folks decided to reveal it a different way. So that was just my own personal inflection. I thought it could have been revealed a little bit different. Maybe she had figured it out herself and confronted the person. So that's just me, my own personal thoughts. But all in all, still strong episode, very enjoyable, very entertaining. And man, it's a lot to watch, especially when it comes out on a Sunday after watching a full day of football, especially watching one of my teams win by a few points and another one of my teams lose by 1 point. If you haven't figured that out, yes, it was the 49ers. Goodness gracious. But we won't talk about that anyway. But all in all, good show. Enjoyed a whole lot out of it, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. It's going, at breakneck pace. Maybe a few things could have been paced out a little bit better, but I'm still enjoying the show. Still one of the best shows out there, besides Andor. So anyway, tell me what you guys think. Did you enjoy this most recent episode of House of the Dragon? Let me know. Post in the comments below. And at the same time, you can always like, share, and subscribe. Anyway, that's it for me, and I'll talk to you guys next time.